Is this on YouTube?
It's on YouTube now. We are live. I've got the music playing. We're going to let some people get in here. Of course, we are live with the man himself from JP Pepper Seeds, Jimmy Pickles.
Hey, what's up?
We're going to let some people get in here, and then we're going to talk about peppers. We're going to talk about your experiences, being a world-famous a television star. You're a screen star. I don't know if it's a silver screen, but it's a screen.
It's aluminum screen. Show's a great success.
Well, it's definitely been a lot of fun for the community. I'll tell you that. I've seen it start a lot of interesting conversations, and a lot of people have gotten some recognition too that I think deserve to have some recognition. I've known some people in that show for years, and they've been into chilies, and I feel like in the show they come across as newbies, but I've known these people for 4 years, and I guess 4 years in the chili community is relatively new, but there's some years behind that though. That's quite a few growing seasons under your belt to learn.
Well, what we wanted for the show was to have a perspective.
Yeah.
We didn't want all veteran people. We wanted just a couple people like Troy and me and a couple others, and then just a full range, like anywhere from new, medium to vintage gray hairstyle. So, I'm telling you, like 95% of the community is very supporting, 5% is not. And that's okay. That's okay. Everybody has their own opinion, and, either it be they should have done this and should have done that. And us in the show, we say these things too. Basically because, there's only so much you can put in. Like I did some scenes that I really wanted to get out there, and that were cut. You can't, like I've done 200 recorded hours. So, there's only so much you can put in. And I'm not the only one in it, Mm-hmm. So I'm thankful for the show. I'm glad for Troy Primo, who got the recognition he deserved. This guy, love him. He's family to me. In fact, everybody in the show's pretty much family to me that I directly worked with. I didn't work with everybody. And it's just interesting, anywhere from, hey, why didn't you get me in the show? I only got one person in the show, and that was Katie Prettyman.
Oh, good.
And I tried, and in fact, I tried to get you in the show there too, Donnie.
I know, I remember.
But you were afraid to climb up a step stool.
I was afraid to get on a step stool, and we won't go into details. But I'm happy just interviewing you right now about all of it. Now you guys did quite a bit. You were kind of like they basically said that you were like paranoid about the pepper ninjas, right? The seed ninjas.
Sure. I use that term to spur the moment for the show, right? It was just ad lib. Mm-hmm. Paranoia. We brought that in to interweave within the show and try to explain it later on. Paranoia, not really. That was kind of just brought in to interweave. But the thing is, we emphasized on that a little bit more than that really needed to be. But the general concept is you don't send out your peppers if it's not released, because somebody could try to grow them and claim it as their own or anything like that. So it's just protective, kind of loosely termed protective rights, Yeah,
because you can't just take the seed out and then mail it to them.
Yeah, and there's competitions. I know Troy had a competition with Louisiana Creeper, and he watched them like a hawk. It's not necessarily the person you're sending it to, but it could be the people around them. Mm-hmm. I've heard of stories of competitions in North Carolina years ago where people were throwing up in buckets and people were collecting the seeds out of the buckets.
Oh
These
my
things are true
God.
facts.
No.
So we emphasized it for the show. I mean, there's no paranoia about it. And as you get through episode 9 and episode 10, you start understanding why we emphasized on that. But yeah,
Oh man, I never considered that that's a way to get seeds to just go and eat them and then throw them up somewhere. Ew, dude.
yeah, there was rumors that people were collecting seeds out of competition years ago. In fact,
Wow.
I believe that was a possible fact.
Wow.
That's an odd, weird sense. A possible fact. It's either one or the other. Like, come on, man. Now, would you please, hey? But oh, can I watch this as we're doing it? Is it going to mess up this phone call?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You can always call back. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go to a different forum. You're
All
on
right.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on
Is
YouTube.
it on Facebook?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, subscriptions. Here we are. Okay, you live?
And everybody who's
There it
watching
is.
right now, this is Donnie the Chilimancer. Of course, you're here on my channel, and I'm here live in the Hall of Flame with the man himself from the TV show Superhot. You've all seen it on the phone now. It's Jimmy Pickles. Are you still there, Pickles?
Yeah, I don't think I could watch it. I was starting to play the earlier stuff.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I could.
You could skip through to right now or something.
Personal buffing.
We're figuring it out as time goes on.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
watch it at the same time.
So-
Okay, that's not a problem.
so you're on this show because you have created one of the world's hottest peppers.
That is correct.
And I wanted to talk about that pepper because it is the JP Piranha, and you've been working on this for many generations now. And what did it test out? 1.7, is that right? 1.7 million?
1.75
Wow.
million SHUs tested at Eurofin's lab. That was tested in the year of 2023, March of 2023.
And
Still there?
yeah, I'm still here.
You must be stunned.
I am stunned. I'm stunned that you've had it for a while and you haven't released it yet. But I guess because of the show, you've had to kind of keep it under wraps because, that's a pretty big thing. At that time, the Carolina Reaper was still the hottest pepper. So, at the moment, that you held in your hand something that could have been tested at, the world record.
Right. Yeah, there was multiple tests, and the show ended. I think there was another test that it got a different score, but I don't know too much about that. So that's a little cliffhanger for you. So there's only so much I can say due to contract.
Yeah.
But yeah, Troy reached the Subpop Primo reached a little higher than mine by 30,000 SHU Scoville heat units.
Man, the Primo is hot.
But
Primo's very hot.
yeah, the thing is, on scientific research,
Yeah.
it's a sample
Yeah.
because you're not. It's a yeah. Sorry, every day's a long day.
Every day is a long day.
It's my own breath.
It's all right.
Yeah, 16-hour days here. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a sample of because if every time you send a sample in, you're either going to get the same or a little bit different range. So that's why you continue testing. Like Ed beat his own record with the Reaper from the Reaper. So he, you could beat your own score. It sounds like a video game, Legend of Zelda. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. You get your range, on
So So you actually are responsible for the chocolate primatali, is that right? Is the rumor true that I heard?
Yes. Chocolate Primatali came from me, and the golden and the burgundy as well.
Wow.
In
Okay.
fact, about 20 peppers in the world came from me. So here's the story. Interesting story, and I'll leave it edited
Okay.
uh, in case children. No, but so there was a huge story, and it was going to be in the show, but they could only put so much, and it became a very odd story. So I did not create the red Primatali. That was Chris Saunders. There was some discussion and a little drama about it. See, my job as a seed vendor, I do research, and I contacted him and I asked him what the cross was, and he ended up telling me. I think he told me it was some Paw Prima crossed with Yellow Fatale, and then I think he gave me a different answer. And then later on, he went. So I put that on my website, and then later on, he goes and tells somebody else it's an accidental cross. And if it's an accidental cross, how are you going to know the parents? You're not.
Yeah.
You're not going to know them.
No.
So the kid continues searching for his folks. But yeah, so stuff like that. Anyway, so there was an individual who had the red Primatali, and I sought for it. I was like Dora the Explorer for peppers, and so I was trying to get this, and this individual, oddly enough, lives pretty close to my hometown here in south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he's one of those guys. He's like, you know what? I only want one Pittsburgh company. There's only one Pittsburgh pepper company, and that's me. The rest gotta go. And that's exactly what he said to me. And there was a sauce company, Fire and Nice, which I am friends with them. They did close their company, unfortunately. They may come back, though. Really nice people, great sauces. They had the same ordeal with this individual as well. He had the red Primatali. I don't think anybody really had it in the United States. So this guy held it on like a gem. Held it on to it was like a blue gem.
Oh yeah.
All pun intended. So I brought in somebody, an outside source, as a purchasing agent, and he came to Pittsburgh, and he met with the individual, and he got it. He made a deal. And then he sent it to me, and that individual found out it went to me, and it was an operation deal. See, the thing is, the world wouldn't have red Primatali if it wasn't for me. Also, the world wouldn't have it if it wasn't for Chris Saunders, too. So the order of operations.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of things like that introduced to the world. So as a seed vendor, you create the trend. You create the standard as well. So I got that anyway. So I got that, and I grew it, and I ended up getting a chocolate out of it. Now, for the record, to be straight, is it a color variant? The answer is no, and you can tell because of the shapes and stuff like that. But it is an unknown cross. Now, did I get the unknown cross on my property? No. It was the genetics structure inside the seed was already present before it got to me. But the simple fact that I was the first one to get it, so it becomes a JP original, exclusive, all that stuff. So it did come from me, and that's what it is. It's definitely a hybrid of something. And you can't guess. You just can't guess. A lot of color variants, or actually not color variants, they're crosses. And, from accidental happy crosses, well, I isolate to help ensure purity. So I don't really get that. I don't get that at all. But this was a pleasant surprise. Oftentimes you can get color variants. You're more likely, the probability of getting color variants is from hybrids that have different colors in it, and it becomes an arm wrestling match of genetics. So this is that's usually what happens. And so, like, you look at the Yellow Reaper and you really analyze that. Technically, in my opinion, there is no Yellow Reaper, no Yellow Primo. It just, it has to have some kind of genetic structure for those pigments. Just basic genetic knowledge is like, well, I won't get too far into all that stuff, but I was going to say like dominant and recessive genes and stuff like that. Simple fact, I say stuff like that really gives me a scientific background.
Yeah, man. Like, there's a lot of new people out there who, they'll cross a pepper on accident, or they'll come up with a new, like what they think is a new pepper, but it's just an off pheno or something. And then like they'll grow it out one time and they'll say, hey, this is my new pepper. Like these are all just like, these aren't developed. They haven't been stabilized or anything like that. They're just out here making these fake peppers. But obviously, Jimmy Pickles, you know exactly what you're talking about. Like you're kind of like the mad scientist of hot peppers. And the picture that I have of you on screen is the one with you and the gas mask on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did. I glanced over, and then there was like kind of like a jet lag, for lack of a better terminology. So I had to opt out. So I can't see, but I can hear it. Sounds like a personal problem.
I guess. So, how long have you been growing peppers, Jim?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
My father, he was a workaholic like me. Mm. And one of the earliest memories is growing banana peppers and tomatoes, cucumbers. We grew habaneros, Scotch bonnets, banana peppers, as stated before. So I did that, and then I grew it every year, and then minus the college years.
Hey, Jeremy Fowler just showed up in the chat. Jeremy asks Jimmy Pickles, any new projects, Jimmy?
Yes, always.
Always new projects.
Yeah, I have stuff. I'm always in debate with myself. Mm-hmm. It's like I wake up in the morning and I start drinking my coffee, and I sort of think it's like a board meeting with myself. And I think about what I should do, what I should say to the general public, like every morning. I make sure I try not to say anything until I have my coffee. God only knows what I'd say. And I think the community knows that. Catch me at the wrong time, you never know. Especially, I've made deals in the middle of my sleep.
Why does that not surprise me? I've made meals in my sleep.
Okay, that's weird.
I'm a sleep eater. It's sometimes it happens.
I'm not assuming sloppy joes is all over your bedspread then.
Yep, that's exactly why that's there. You're exactly right. So, you used to make hot sauces for a while, didn't you?
Yeah.
You
just as a hobbyist level before I was a company.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I did make dry rubs. I still make hot sauces. They're not for sale or anything like that. Yeah. I did make a recipe for the TV show, which was a big hit, but they went with Bobby and Araya.
Yeah. And their sauce is doing really well, actually. I see that.
Insider information.
Okay.
I licked the spoon.
You licked? Oh, what?
Yeah, well, I put my finger on the spoon and licked it, in between takes. I ran over there. I didn't try Troy's and Caro's, but I tried Bobby and Araya's, and it was pretty good. So I'm going to have to definitely buy a bottle of their stuff. But, yeah, I made an agave, J.P. Piranha agave blood orange sauce.
I'm losing
it. And then we made... So, I mean, come on, man.
You put your finger in their sauce. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody tag them. That's awesome. The Mighty Mustache, or what's Araya's channel on here? Araya's Garden?
Bobby McFadden is his real name.
Yeah.
It's funny. I do like the tabloid stuff, too. Like, not too much, but it was, they're like, what's going on with that show? Everybody has a fake name. Jimmy Pickles, Mustache.
It's because we're all YouTubers.
Right.
And we have companies. It's all branding. It's like, it's
Yeah.
not fake names. It's just, it's kind of like being in a band, you
I
know?
actually never thought of it that way, though. See,
Yeah.
even negative, positive, it brings perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny and my name and, Troy Primo, that's actually not his real name.
No, it's spelled with 14 letters.
I just naturally think of Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux. Have you ever heard that song by Goldfinger about Mario Lemieux?
No. I played hockey with Lemieux at one time, but no. What's the song about?
Dude, I can't say it on the channel because there might be kids listening, but it's called Mario Lemieux is a something or another. Just look it up. You'll get it. It's funny.
Well, if they're degrading him, I don't want to watch. Lemieux's an awesome guy.
No, Lemieux's an awesome guy, but he apparently the song is about him not signing some kid's memorabilia, and they were really mad about it. That's the whole song.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting though, because
It was from the 90s.
oh, then screw him. No.
Anyway, Troy Primo's name is not Troy Primo. Dun dun dun.
It's Henry Roth Ford. No.
Henry Rutherford. Gosh, yes. Rusty Shackelford.
No, it's Troy Rockville or whatever it is. I can't. Sorry, Troy. They call me. Come on, Pickles, man. Come on, man. We all do impersonations of each other. When you hang out with people that long, you either end up hating each other or loving each other.
Or loving it. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so we're all like family. We're on the show and stuff.
I
mean,
love everybody who
worked with Johnny,
gravitates around the whole Team Pickles thing, man. You guys, the Donatellis, gotta love them. Shout out to Julie and Gio and Bianca and all the Donatellis. And
Theo for president.
yeah, we
Team Parma, their dog.
Oh yeah, Team Parma. Aw.
Karma.
Karma? I thought you said Parma like it was named after cheese. I was like, I like cheese. I'm always down for some cheese, man. I don't care what kind it is. Except for the Swiss.
Well, now we know.
Oh, man. So, how many varieties are you planning on growing this year? Or are you just focusing on the Piranha? What are you doing?
Do it all. More coffee, more success, more rage.
Just pumping it up. No more rage. I thought you told me you were a changed man.
No, I rage to myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just rage out.
What
Yeah.
I do, and I actually been meaning to do this. Eventually I will. So I'm walking over, you can't see me. Just like John Cena, you can't see me. I go, that's what I call the board meeting room, my dining room. I'll have this table clear. I'll get a bunch of teddy bears around the table and I'll have a board meeting. That's something for the trolls. But I'll put name tags on it. Teddy. The teddy bear named Teddy. But yeah, usually when I wake up in the morning, since after working 16, 18-hour days, and yes, I do work that much, so.
Well, you're a one-man company, right?
Yeah, I had a couple people here before. A couple people want to come here and work a couple hours here and there. Mm-hmm. But I'm a one-man person. It just, things can get a little screwy and, like, get the orders done, and they're just putting stickers on stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember a couple of situations, that's all I asked for. But if I'm away filming for a TV show or something like that, I need the orders out. And so things got a little screwy with the company when I was gone. And I was like, hey, folks, it's still my name, so it's my responsibility. Mm-hmm. With my mom passing, running the estate, TV show, all the arrangements, and the company itself, it got a little hectic. But I'm on the right track. I'm trying to crank out orders as fast as possible. I got some pre-sales on the JP Piranha. I am going to pull that. I don't want to get ahead of the game. I have some backup seeds. Worst comes to worst. People ask me, why don't you just sell those seeds? Because I want the newest generation out to the general public. And I seed select. So, the best shapes. and stuff like that. And that's what vendors should be doing. And I think, honestly, a lot of them do that. So, and, multiple reasons to do that, backup supply. And if you want the best shapes, what you can actually do, you can cross the cross with the same cross for the shapes.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that, but you can do that. A lot of times, and a lot of botanists know this, is F2s, F3s, and stuff. That's more unstable, but you could cross it back into one of those generations and grow it out of several years. And there's a difference between variants and pheno. A variant is something you get. It's a variant. It's the kid who didn't bring his gym clothes to class. And so it's just, one or two individuals. But a pheno is across the board. Everybody, that's different for the plants. Multiple reasons for that: genetic instability, environmental reasons, weather, smaller plants, you can get that as well. And what you put into the soil or hydroponics as well can actually affect that. Acidic levels is the big thing. So if you want to create a pheno or a variant, you end up doing more acidic soils. I'm actually working as we talk. I'm transplanting stuff deeper. Pepper plants are like tomato plants. They're in the family of nightshade. So when you transplant them deeper, roots will form higher and you get a stronger plant and it can feed more into it. Little pop-up VH1 pop-up video. Fun fact.
Pop-up video. Oh man, I hope I don't get charged for that.
Oops.
What in the world was that? Oh, hey, in the comments, we've got Mike Chili Eskimo Stoltz. What's up, y'all? Mike, well, congratulations and thank you for coming by. This is Donnie the Chili Mancer live on the internet with Jimmy Pickles from the TV show Superhot, the spicy world of pepper people, and also from JP Pepper Seeds on the internet. It's the website where you can buy hot pepper seeds, and this is the man who grows them and isolates all of their varieties for us to grow for ourselves, Jimmy Pickles. So welcome again to everybody who's just now joining us. We've been live for about half an hour now. We've talked about the piranha. We've talked about the show a little bit. How did you get on the show? How'd you get on it? Did you create the show? I heard that you created the show. Because, yeah.
No, I tried to shape it. No, I did not create the show. I was contacted by a sweet lady named Georgia Bears Graham. And I think she had something to do with Cake Wars on Food Network, and fixed her up with High Noon Entertainment. And she was working hands in hands with, I think it was JC or JP Casting Company. Yeah, there was some people saying that I own the casting company, which is not true.
Well, I mean, that's reasonable, though, right? Because the initials.
Sure. But so actually, they were interviewing people. They interviewed, I think, 1,500 people. They want to see who would test well on camera, so you had to audition for the show. I auditioned a ton, and I just kept going up the ladder. So Troy actually recommended me for the show. He thought I was a great candidate. Somebody who would be good with the cameras, somebody who's good with growing, somebody good with hybridizing, all that stuff. So he recommended me. Usually they ask you to recommend about 10 people. So he recommended me. So he helped me get on the show. Thank you, Troy. A good friend. And
shout out to Troy Primo. Actually, yesterday I had live streamed a video of Katie Prettyman trying 3 of Troy's sauces.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She did. She's a sweet lady, too.
Yeah.
She's super nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I recommended a lot of people. And some people come to me, I don't know why you didn't get me on the show. What the hell? And it's not my choice. I recommended people. I mean, they didn't want the show to be all the same types of people. You want contrast, just like music, just like anything else. And yeah, let's see what's going on here. Um, Somebody trying to buy.
You know, I think. Oh, hey, it's Scooby. Peeks out of my lurker bushes. Hello. Scooby Lee. Scooby Lee hangs out over in the Chase the Heat and the Lifeboat chats a whole lot. So if you hang out over on those channels, then you probably recognize the name.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, this is basically the time of year that, you know, people need to start. If they haven't planted their seeds, they're going to have to get those into dirt pretty soon. Is that right?
Yes. In fact, I'm not done germinating. I've been so busy with customer service, so busy with so many multiple projects. I've been talking to restaurants and everything else, but that's all kind of closed to the public right now, but there is some talks. But yeah. So let's see. It's today is May 9th. So, you know, I don't have too much to offer right now for seeds. You have to buy direct. The site will be up this summer. I might have like maybe 100 varieties right now. No Superhots available right now. I was busy filming, being an executor and everything else. So it was hard to. I did grow about 100 plants, but, you know, I mean, my stuff sells quick, especially being on that show. And, but yeah. So I suggest for Superhots, you got to get them in right now. And for non-Superhots, you could take it up to really the next 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. It depends where you are, though, too.
Yeah.
Like down south could grow all year round for the most part. Plants do go dormant.
Jim, I've got a question for you. If somebody bought some seeds from you and they wanted you to tell them the very best way to plant these seeds so they have the best chance of germination, how would you suggest these people plant these seeds? What medium would you use? Would you use a warming tray? What would you do?
Well, soil doesn't matter at all for germinating. It's basically holding, and you're going to transplant anyway. So plants or cells usually come in 6. I do not suggest using red solar cups or anything. You want smaller the better. And then you do the red. And don't fill the soil all the way up, because when you add water, the seeds can float to the other cells. And then you'll be like, oh, my stuff didn't grow true, or it's mixed up. And that's one of the reasons it happens, you know. I listen to my customers, and I take their questions and their comments valid to some degree or another. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I did laugh. I mean,
I mean, you know, I mean, what was it that? Oh crap! What did Ben Affleck say in Mallrats?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
There's a quote. Maybe I'll edit that in sometime later.
Yeah, Mallrats. No, yeah, I think I watched part of that movie like 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite Jason Lee movies. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like Dogma.
Dogma's pretty good. I like Dogma.
Yeah, Buddy Christ and all that fun stuff. I had a Buddy Christ action figure doll thing.
Like a life-size one?
Well,
oh,
no.
an action figure. Okay.
And no, it was not a blow-up doll. But you know, it was a plastic thing. I think I got it at like Spencer Gifts or one of those record places back in the day. But yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Jim, now you've created the Piranha. We talked about that. You discovered the chocolate Primatale. We talked about that. What are some other peppers that everybody is familiar with that they might not know originated on your property or with you?
There was one called Purple Lemonade. And I didn't create that one, but I was doing a project for Kevin Bain.
Oh, okay.
And that came about.
Of Bain strain fame, is that right? Did he make the Bain strain, or is it just named after him?
No, he made it. He made the cross.
Absolutely, cool.
So, yeah, bear with me. I'm burned out just from working so much. So I'm trying to take it a little easier today to focus and just work on plants today. Um, and I'll work on orders tomorrow. I have to work on plants to have a future. Because, but yeah. So Kevin Bain came up with the Bain strain peach. He gave it to me on an F2, which is Philia, which generation.
Yeah.
And then I sold it on an F4, F5 level. It seemed pretty stable. So that was released from me, but not created from me. Tasia, I think Tasia Habanero. That was released from me. That was one of my exclusives. I did not create that one. That was Matthew Arthur. Anytime you see MA on something, that's Matthew Arthur down in Hot Springs, Arkansas. One of the most generous guys in the pepper community, by the way. Super cool guy. Just super laid back, which is kind of rare in the pepper community because a lot of people are high strung. I actually had a phone call today from Chris Fowler and talked to him. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Chris Fowler.
Hey, happy birthday,
Super
Chris.
Cool. Yeah, he's the one who, but he's a laid back guy too, for the most part. Once in a while you see him a little rowdy, but that's usually when his pizza's late in Wales. He's from over in Wales. You know, I figure I'm one of the guys who's for the community. You know, so it's like, you know, if I don't have something to go buy from somebody else or whatever, you want Sugar Rush Peach, you can go buy it from, I think it's a WelshDragon.com or whatever. Super cool guy, good friend of mine for many years. He got the Sugar Rush Peach from the Sugar Rush Red, which came from South America. But yeah, so creations, I came up with the JP Ultraviolet.
Okay, the ultraviolet.
Yeah, JP Ultraviolet, and that is Peach Gum Tiger crossed with Bain strain.
Oh. I've never got to try one of those. They sound awesome. Do you have seeds for that?
No
seeds.
I don't have much seeds available. I mean, I'm actually walked into my office now. Mm-hmm. I got stuff like San Felipe, Lisa Red.
I mean, after the show, I imagine you probably got a lot of orders, didn't you?
I did. It was hard to keep up. A lot of general public didn't understand. It's like, you know, somebody said, "Oh man, just even saying congratulations delayed me 2 days. I had to sort through messages." I'm like, "Thanks," and they're like, "What did you mean on this show? What was that? Who were you on the telephone with when you said F2?"
Oh yeah, I'm Jimmy Pickles. F you. Oh
yeah,
man,
that's funny. I had one of the. There was a story behind that.
Yeah. Well, do tell.
One of the staff members called the phone, and you know that was staged for the show.
Yeah.
But Joaquin, the executive producer, good friend of mine, and he goes, you know, and I completely forgot about this. He's like, you know, the first time I ever talked to you, you told me to have follow up. I'm like, are you serious? Because I get crank calls. You know, that's why I changed my number. But somebody calls and you don't hear anything for a minute, you figure it's like a telemarketer. And I had so many this one time, right when we were going to go into casting and auditions and everything, and I thought it was a joke. So I'm like, hey, F you. And I ended up being exclusive executive producer for the show. It was originally called Burning Men, which was changed to Superhot.
I think Superhot's a cooler name than Burning Man.
Yeah, there's some confusion, and I brought that up too. And I'm like, well, you know, you're going to call it that. It's confusion with that. I think it was Nicolas Cage, maybe? I think it was Burning Man.
Uh-huh.
You know,
and then there's that festival out in the desert.
Yeah, that's what I think the Nicolas Cage movie was based on.
Okay.
So we didn't want it to have any confusion with that and stuff. I'm not sure. And there was another movie in Australia with the same name. And I don't know if there's any copyright laws or anything like that. There's a statute of limitations for names. I think you have to buy into it every so often. Otherwise, you lose those rights. Like Stephen King, I know he had property rights on the names, and he let it. I think Stephen King let his stuff run out. So now other people are actually making the movies, like It and stuff like that, which they brought him in as a cameo. But it gets down to legal terms and stuff, so, and confusion with names. So that's why it was called Superhot.
I like that name. Yeah, I think that they made the right choice. Here, I'm going to. I think I'm going to spawn a poster for the. It should be a poster. Into the world here, so we can see what we're talking about. So you are definitely a busy man. You've got orders out the wazoo from the show. You've got customer service to deal with as one guy. You've got plants to grow, mad scientist things to do. And how do you do it all? Just massive amounts of coffee?
Yeah, pretty much. I had 4 glasses in the road today, and it just got me out of bed. So my tolerance is pretty high for coffee. So secret of success is switching coffee. Sorry, I am working at the same time because I can never take time off. I try to take time off, which brings focus. But yeah, I drink a lot of coffee.
I know you're always posting about it. Whenever I see you go live on Facebook or on anything at all, YouTube, you're always drinking like basically straight from the pot. So
yeah, I had an idea for the show. They gave me a little bit of creative freedom with the show to a certain level, so I always pitched ideas. Usually when I went down to the set, I usually had a new idea to pitch to them, and some of it was like ridiculous just to make them laugh. But one of my ideas, which I was just joking around about, and they kind of went with it, was for me to chug coffee, and I drink so much coffee, I clone. So they made like a cloning scene, which never made the film, but they scratched it, and then Brian Scope, the producer, which did Jersey Shore, National Lampoons, a couple, I think he was in National Lampoons. Somebody just messaged me. Who is this? I don't know. Oh, this guy. A local guy. He's going to send me a picture of every single plant he's grown.
Oh.
But anyway.
I seem to have cloned myself.
So what they did is they decided, let's do metaphor. I can't even talk. Just how I became me. Like, who's Jimmy Pickles? So I go to a pepper plant. I eat a pepper. And it's on episode 1. And it's funny calling out the episodes because sometimes episode 9 I might have filmed earlier in the stages. They just kind of remix it. But so I eat a pepper, I drink coffee, and I become Jimmy Pickles, which actually Brian Scope's idea I think is a lot better than what mine was. So we worked on that idea together, and that became that. Yeah, Brian Scope, he's fantastic. I learned a lot from him. After done filming on scenes, I would stick around and just kind of pick their brains and stuff like that. I learned a lot about filming, directing, sound, and everything else. There's a lot to this, like the sound and the mixing of it. You record the sound after a scene, and you can actually layer it. You could dub it in up top of that, like through a mixing board and everything, and that actually eliminates some of the background sound. You train your hearing to actually process information a certain way. So they use the psychology of that in filmmaking.
Have you ever been in any films besides this show? Maybe like back in college or like because whenever I was in college, I was in like a bunch of sketch comedies and stuff like that. You know, with some friends who had a thing called the Jono Show. You know, shout out to everybody who's in the Jono Show. Rest in peace, Count Z. How'd you get into television? Is this your first foray? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, this is my first TV show. Yeah, Superhot's my first TV show. But it's kind of unique because when it came out, it's almost like old news for me because it was, you know, how long ago it was filmed and everything. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to work on other projects, by the way, non-pepper related for acting. But I try to run this company, just drink more coffee. Yeah. But that's still under hush-hush. And now you know. But, I did some plays, but I was never on television. I auditioned for commercials. I used to play ice hockey, 14 seasons. So I ran up, I was at Mount Lebanon ice skating rink here in Pittsburgh. So I would skate up. I'd do the hockey stop where the ice flies up like towards the camera, so they could actually do it slow motion and make it more dramatic. And I'm holding a pizza box, making it great. And they're like, yeah, dude, you can't really sing, so we're going to have to kind of pass. So all the commercials I auditioned for were actually singing positions. So I you know, not really a singer. So, I mean, it kind of sounded like I was going through puberty when I was doing all this. So, yeah, I mean, hell, what the hell. But it was fun. So I had an opportunity to do a TV show, and I said, hey, what the hell, let's go for it. It was a process. It was a process, like, mentally for me to accept it. A lot of people, same thing in the pepper community. They didn't know if it was legit or not. There's always scammers, all this. And a lot of people kind of went in and they did auditions to see what it was about. And they didn't take it seriously because they didn't know. And, you know, I took it seriously just in case. And it ended up being the real deal. I did an audition recently for a movie, and it was kind of a little hokey. So I walked out of the meeting. In fact, they text me every day to come back and do another audition. I won't do it.
What was the movie about?
Well, I can't say.
Oh,
it
man.
was a mainstream movie.
Oh, okay. Man, so I think it would be cool if you were in a movie, you were like kind of like a Jason Bourne kind of a thing, but you're like Jimmy Pickles, and you fight against these people who come to steal the piranha from your property, and it's like, you know, all of this Jason Bourne kind of stuff. I could imagine that, because whenever I watch the show, and you know, you're talking on there, and you know, Johnny's like, you know, Jimmy Pickles is paranoid. You know, like it just makes me think that like you're kind of like a 007 of peppers.
Yeah, the Pickle Show. Jump into the brine.
Yeah.
I had all kinds of funny ideas. I'm like, hey, you know what? We could have a pre-sequel. You know, kind of like Young Sheldon. It would be like the Little Gherkins.
The Gherkins. Young Jimmy. Jimmy Gherkin. Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, some people didn't take it seriously. Some people take their jobs, seed vendors, hot sauce makers, they all take their jobs seriously. But they didn't necessarily take the auditions seriously. So there was other people equivalent to me that auditioned. They didn't make it because they didn't take it seriously. And then, oh, yeah, I turned it down. No, they actually turned you down.
Oh, man.
Some of the people did turn down. I know for a fact, did turn them down. But there was another guy, similar name as mine, that actually was rejected.
Oh, I know, and he's been doing his own thing, and I plan on doing a stream about that soon. I just have to do a little bit of work to get the.
Yeah, I got to stay off the drama.
Yeah, I'm not looking into drama. I just can't believe that this stuff is going on. Like, I just want to let it speak for itself. I want to show people, like, you can't man, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not in the show, big whoop, whatever, clap for your friends. It's all right. But to turn on everybody for what? There's no reason. It's just going to ruin your business, ruin the community.
The old me is like, you attack me, I attack you back. But it's what are you getting out of that? You're not going to really get anything out of it. You're making a public awareness, which is sometimes good. But I mean, some people have, I believe, and I'm actually not saying this derogatory.
Yeah.
I'm actually being very serious. Like, I believe certain people have mental issues, and stuff like that.
I could see that.
I'll tell you, and I won't speak of that individual, but I know of a situation. I know of a situation of somebody I respect in the hot sauce world. I will not mention his name.
Yeah.
Out of respect for this individual, and I got a phone call from a good friend of mine. He mentioned, this and that and all this, and about the sauce maker. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that guy, and the fact that he felt insecure that he's losing traction. I'm like, yeah, that's sad, man. I said a lot of the newer guys don't know some of the pioneers of the pepper world before me that I looked up to and stuff like that. And, in a sense, I feel it's almost a responsibility for me to give credit and stuff like that. But the guy, I know he got a little salty, not with me, just in general. It kind of down on himself. I'm thinking to myself, I'm talking to a mutual friend because I don't really talk to that sauce maker. I'm like, you know what, man, that guy had quite the career. I'm like, total respect, man. And I said, that's kind of sad, man. If you lose traction in the business world, you have to be a grinder. You have to jump in there. The business world is a shark world. Sharks need to keep moving to get oxygen through their gills. Once they stop moving, you become stagnant and you die off. And that's what some of these guys are feeling. So they get bitter too. Not talking about that seed vendor, but I'm talking actually more hot sauce and hibernizers that I've noticed. They're slightly bitter, but they're very quiet about it. But there's some recent recognition for some of those guys, which is fantastic. There's only so much you can go around for recognition, though. On a TV show or this and that. Otherwise, you lose sight of what you're talking about. And I believe there will be more shows. I'm under contract, so I can't say if there's a season 2 or anything else about it. If I know or don't know, I can't say. But I just, in general, maybe other networks, maybe the same network, this is opening up opportunities for others. And then like it, love it or hate it, or in between, overall, we all took sacrifice out of our jobs to actually enhance and expand the pepper community. So I mean, it's gone to the point for certain scrutiny from certain companies. Hey, by the way, you're welcome. I took one for the team. I hurt my own sales and hurt my own company to do this show to help better the community. That's how much dedication I have. So, like me, hate me, that's okay. That's fine. But all of us, not just me, all of us actually helped increase the spirit of the pepper community so we have more growers. And with the economy the way it is, going down, you want to be more self-sufficient.
That's true. Peppers got me into growing tomatoes. Last year I started growing tomatoes. I think I might do it again this year. I've got some seeds I got for tomatoes from an heirloom seed company, and they're like stripy, purpley green and red. They look pretty cool. I forget what they're called, but I'm going to grow those this year along with my pepper garden, I think.
Yeah, I've never got too much into tomatoes.
Yeah, I just love, I like salsa, so I figure, having a little salsa garden would be nice.
Well, you just replenished my thought process. Hey, salsa at one time, especially in the late 80s, was the #1 condiment in the world. Salsa. And plus, the ladies like the dance. They like the salsa. Did I lose you then?
No, I'm here. I'm just dancing the salsa, man.
Okay, now I'm creeped out.
Well, hey man, we've been on here for right at an hour, so I'm going to actually let you go. Did you have anything else that you'd like to say to the wonderful people of the interwebs before we wrap this thing up and I let everybody get back to their lives?
I don't know. Just keep positive. You know, keep positive. You know, there's no sense really addressing any drama. Drama's not.
Jimmy's like, don't make a video about that dude. I'm like, okay, all right, Jimmy, I won't, but I might make a post about it. I don't know.
You can do what you want.
Oh no, I respect I respect your advice, Mr. Pickles.
Yeah, the thing is, oh crap, turn off the lights on myself. And that is symbolism for the people who don't circulate their own names and work hard. Yeah, but you know, I get through this phase, and thank you for listening to me, Donnie, not just here, but in general, and a couple other people. When I wake up in the morning, I'm usually not the greatest person in the earth. A lot of people ought to know, but the thing is, we lose sight. Positive, negative, we lose sight. Overall, the pepper community is a fantastic place. There's 5% that are just ill will. People defending me or anybody in the show actually doesn't help. All it does is create more negativity.
Yeah.
Aggressive and defensive is still negative. Still negative. If I defend myself, it's considered negative.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say,
you know, honestly, Jimmy, this is interesting coming from you because I remember back in the day, it was Jimmy versus the trolls. About 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I remember this period of time where it was like, but there was this crusade of trolls just going through the community. I dealt with the same dudes and Johnny dealt with the same guys.
yeah, some of it's the same people now.
Yeah, it is. And then to hear you be the voice of reason. You're the least dramatic out of everybody. That is actually the most, that's like a miracle. Like, so congratulations on that, bro.
Well,
you
I'm
have
actually
ascended.
writing a script. I am, oddly enough, you say that, I am writing a script for a show, non-pepper related. But yeah, after everything I went through, and even you don't know, nobody knows the full story. After what I went through, this pepper stuff is easy peasy, man. So it's just like, okay, walk down the street, somebody says, hey, I don't like your shoes. That's what a troll is. You know,
Yeah.
and progresses on it. You know, there's people who talk about a pepper that I sold maybe 10 years ago. They're still talking about it. You know, those are, you know, right, wrong, negative, left, east, west, north, south. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's just continuation, and they're like, it gets to the point like, wow, man, do you do anything? Do you play tennis? Like,
Yeah.
do you golf? Like,
I guess whenever it comes down to it, you know, you could either give in to the trolls and participate with the negativity and keep digging into the negativity and end up like Ted Barris. Ted isn't even online anymore. And he had one of the biggest channels back in the day. And now he's not even on, because he started participating with a lot of that stuff.
He fed into it. And
Yeah.
He was the FBI, fire-breathing idiot. And I used to watch him all the time and stuff like that. I haven't talked to him in years. And no, he's not dead. He's still alive.
No, he's still alive. He's still online, actually. He's over on Instagram. I'm not going to give his handle out because he's trying to fly under the.
Married.
Yeah.
He's still in marriage, and he owns a smoke shop in Oregon.
Yep.
So that's what he does.
But he used to eat chocolate bootlas a lot. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He did that. Well, Ed Curry did the thing, you know, Pepper X. Then another guy renamed it the Pepper Triple X. Same guy who renamed, took my Piranha name.
Oh.
But, yeah, isn't that interesting? He takes all the popular names and spins it to his own name.
Yeah.
For propaganda and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, those are just cold, hard facts, folks. Let the kids know while they eat their popcorn. But and I bringing that up sometimes brings drama. It is what it is. It's a marketing technique. Sometimes you got to look at things without emotion. And yes, I've come a long way. I mean, you do the same thing to get you do the same thing to get different results. That's called insanity. I'm not insane. I remember a couple production crew members and stuff. They're all like, "Yeah, he's Pickles a little nutty," and Troy Prima actually said, "He's not nuts. He's eccentric." Because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again to
expecting different results.
Different results. So you got to change it up. You got to be like DJ Jimmy Pickles, wah, 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 and switch it up a little bit. You can't be a straight shooter all the time on a game of pool. You got to use angles, or you don't play the game of drama. How about that? And concentrate on your own company.
Yeah, I'm going to concentrate on this channel. I'd like to have you on a lot more, Jim. I know that you and I talk quite a bit of the time, just during the week and stuff, usually for even hours on the phone. I don't see why we shouldn't be having a lot of these conversations for the great people of the internet, because a lot of the times we have some pretty funny conversations.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like vocal memes.
Yeah, it is like vocal memes. And in this VR thing that I have, I can actually put different memes and stuff on the wall before we ever even go live. And that way, we can map out a whole conversation and have visuals and everything. I'm so excited.
You know what? Before we go, you know what I like about your channel is it's a virtual world.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And like when COVID hit, I'm sure more people played video games. You could do like a virtual isolated grow or virtual, of things like that, and have like parodies of it. Nothing really negative. It's just like fun parodies or mascots.
Yeah, I can do that.
Like a pepper jumps in a swimming pool of hot sauce and jumps in and puts a gas mask on, and the smoke comes out. Something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we could do some animations or something. I probably have something like that.
Yeah, that's always fun stuff. But yeah. How long you been YouTubing?
I've been since 2005 was my first YouTube video. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I've been on YouTube. I went to school for electronic media production, and that's whenever I started my first channel, was to upload my my projects from class, and I would do these little video editing projects. Like one time I took a bunch of stock. My very first project was we had to use stock footage that was just shot from by students of just the property around the school, and we had to do something creative with it, using all of the stuff that we learned. And it was called Students Behaving Normally, and it was actually really funny. I'll post it in here. I hope that I won't get in trouble. I'll post it online. I'll share the link on my channel. But yeah, I edited that all together. I've been doing it since then, and then I've been doing hot sauce videos since about 8 years ago. I've done local like online radio shows. I've done like a morning show. I did a morning show at one of the local coffee shops, and we had like the mayor on the show, and Mike Jones, the rapper Mike Jones, was on the show. All kinds of concert promoters, bands, other YouTubers, and it was a lot of fun. And then I moved to Cincinnati and I started the Chili Mancer channel, and that's where I am today. Ever since then.
Very cool.
Yeah. But this VR stuff I've been doing since about 2018, I think. So I've been doing it since then. And yeah, I think it's really cool that we can build a whole virtual world just full of chili stuff. I do have some plants on here that I can make a garden out of, but they are not appropriate for streaming. It's different kind of plants in VR, but yeah.
Didn't say. Wait, what's this? Oh, I was.
Oh, you're on your phone? Okay.
No. I was actually reading a comment. Somebody said, didn't it say 1.7? Wait, what did I do wrong?
What was it?
Oh, yeah, he's right.
What?
Yes. I wrote on my advertisement for the pre-sale of JP Prana, and see sometimes people or insightful.
Yeah.
I put 1.7 SHU. It should have been million. I did for this one ad. Yes. So, sometimes sometimes a little errors. So yes, correct. Okay. I just incorporated it into the show. Yeah, the JP prawn is at 1.75 million SHUs. Tested by Eurofin. Real nice people there.
Man, I want to eat one of those.
Maybe one day, kid.
Maybe one day, kid. It'll be a while. This is the first season where seeds will finally be available late in the season, and I imagine next year's going to be wild.
Continue. I'm actually, oddly enough, this is like talking on a regular phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you something, but yeah, you might not want to incorporate it in the show. It was a post.
Okay.
I found it pretty comical. The moral. I've been watching over this grower, man.
Oh my God, Jim!
This guy, and I tell you what, I didn't know how to take this guy, but now I got to know this guy, and I get him. See, that's the thing. Sometimes we don't understand personalities on social media.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this guy taking a poke at me? No, that is not about me. Clearly, because the guy mentioned his name. That's funny.
Yeah.
But people have sense of humors. I made, sometimes it's all dry cut and stuff with me for advertising. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'll make a meme, and people are like, what the hell, man? Where's all this humor come from? I'm like, I've always had humor. I've even written up stand-up comedy before. But, unreleased so far.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I want to hear your stand-up comedy. I've heard legends that you're a pretty good stand-up comic.
Yeah, I got a whole book of jokes and stuff. I pitched the idea to a producer, a different producer than I did with Superhot, and she loved it. She was like, I couldn't even answer back right away because I was laughing too hard. And she goes, where did you come up with this stuff? I said, oh, it's based on true stories. Wait, what? What? I'm like, yeah. Holy crap. I'm like, yeah, like life was quite the adventure. I don't get out much, but when I do, I don't know. See, the thing is, I'm a very sociable person. I used to be antisocial, kind of shy, but I busted out of that and pushed the threshold, and you get to meet a lot of interesting people. And that's where sometimes comedy, a lot of comedy comes from misery or just light of making offbeat situations. The best comedy is stuff the audience can relate to. So a comedian would project, I always use, like, say, a nursing home. Not I do stand up in a nursing home, but you do jokes that they can relate. Comic relief.
Yeah. You're a master of timing and intellect. You got to be, you got to know comedy to be Jimmy Pickles.
I grew up pretty dry.
Yeah.
And I in college, I had these groups of friends, and just their stories is like the jokes. It's just completely absurd. Just some of the stuff that happened and after college, just like, wow, man, that's just so crazy. Man. Oh, I will tell you one story. There's a kid I went to college with. I've lost contact with him. Yeah, I kind of thank God for that. But he hooked up with this girl. He was ashamed of her and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah. She's like, how do I get back onto campus? And he's like, all right. So what you do is you get up that street, you take a right, go up to there. He did it long-winded for a reason, so she wouldn't catch on. Then you go up there, you take another right, you take another right. So we watched this girl walk around the entire block. Getting a lot of messages. Who's that? That is the customer in Pittsburgh who's texting me, showing pictures of every single plant he has. That's what these guys do. They take pictures of every single plant because they're happy and proud. You know, I don't have time to look at 200 pictures. But, well, I'll make time. You make time.
You got to make time by having more coffee.
You got to make time. You can't make time because there's only so much time. However, there's a loophole. You drink coffee, ta-da, you made time.
Yep. You drink coffee, you turn into two, you know, you clone yourself.
Yeah, that was cut out of the show, but like I said, I like Brian Scoop's idea better. But it was a spin-off idea of mine, and then Brian went with it. Cool guy. He very insightful on the way other producers do things and stuff like that. Martin Scorsese. Between a lot of Martin Scorsese scenes, they'll have somebody walk in front of the camera to break the tension of that scene to actually, it's to cleanse your palate, visual and audio palate, to actually get to the next one.
I just make online videos. I'm not really a filmmaker, but I'd like to make a film. There's a local film competition in my area. I thought about joining that sometime. So I'm actually on the stream. If you're watching on the stream, I've got the map of the neighborhood. And look, there's Scooby in the chat. Scooby, there's your house. Right there. We've got to put some cool stuff in it sometime. There's my house right over here. Yaya is me's house is right over here. Yaya's house. And Jim, I need to make a Jimmy Pickles house, and as soon as I figure out which house is yours, then I'm going to start planting plants in the backyard. And I think we're going to give you this one.
Huh. One thing in the mail today.
What is it?
That's a good thing. I got a free t-shirt and hot sauce.
Oh, heck yeah.
The Notorious Chef sent me more stuff to review. Oh, my teeth hurt today. Too much coffee. I had too much coffee, my gums bleeding.
It's probably from all those teeth whitening strips you've been doing, Jim.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I try to look good.
Coffee does hurt whenever you do that.
I try to look good.
Yep. Hey, you do look good, man.
Too much.
Here, that house. I'm looking for a house in this game for you that actually has a good backyard. With nice lighting, that way you can grow some peppers. Maybe we'll just all have a community garden on here. I think that would probably be better anyway. I think I have a spot over here. We could do a community garden. Yeah, on this big old field.
Well, I rearranged my room. I sorted through notes. Get some whitening strips now. I did that for 5 minutes, and my teeth have been hurting for 3 days now. I think I did it for 10 minutes, though.
Yeah. Are you supposed to do it for 10 minutes or like 3 minutes?
Like 5.
Oh, well, yeah. You'll probably get feeling back in your teeth that, you know, it'll probably stop hurting after a while.
Yeah, probably in a day or two. It's getting better.
All right, I think maybe over here would be a good spot for a garden. Unless we do a container garden over on that other side. What's this giant rock doing over here? That's weird.
It's raining in Pittsburgh today.
It's raining in Pittsburgh. It's raining in Pittsburgh. I'm running with my 10 feet off a bill. Raining in Pittsburgh. All right, I'm building a. Now I'm going to build a virtual garden. What?
Was that maybe Office Space or something? It's like, I can't stand my name. Everybody confused me with that. No, I'm not Michael Bolton. I'm the other Michael Bolton.
I'm the other Michael Bolton.
It's raining in Pittsburgh. Too bad my plants aren't outside. Why couldn't I get singing commercials? I said, let it grow, making it great. Or I could do commercials for feminine products. Singing. When she's not that fresh feeling, and she's really concealing summer's eve. Yeah.
What the fuck? Did you just sing the Summer's Eve song? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. What's that one that's like, Calgon, take me away?
Isolated seeds, take me away. Bubble bath.
This planter isn't very good.
I think the rain makes us tired.
I think you're right on that one. Hey, this planter's kind of nice. Maybe I'll put this on the house.
I'm still laughing about that post I sent you.
Wait, well, yeah, yeah, you're not going to talk about.
Comment on it. I'm going to follow that post. And see the comments.
Jim, I love that you're like, I don't deal with any drama, and you're like, but this post is hilarious. I'm like, yeah, it is. I like whenever people make memes about stuff. You know, that's the best way to deal with all of it, is just through humor. That's my favorite part. Making fun
You
of.
insulted my intelligence and my feelings by your meme. Oh, I will tell you this. I can't even remember the parties. This is not recent. This is like 8 years ago. I can't remember who the fights were with. And I wrote memes on both sides.
You wrote memes on both sides of what?
The meme writer for some pepper fight.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And this is the most ridiculous thing. So I wrote the memes on both sides.
That's one of my favorite things to do.
I can't believe what they did on the meme. I need another meme. I'm like, man, the meme wars.
It's always meme wars. It's either meme wars or Verde wars, and usually the meme wars are more popular.
That can't be the JP Piranha. It was green. Oh, yeah, that's another mistake. You know, in the commercial, or it was in the show too, but they're like, yeah, Seven Pop Primo, you know, the JP Piranha. They showed a golden Primo Italian. They showed the wrong pepper. And I got a lot of criticism for that. I wasn't the camera guy. I'm not the producer. They showed the wrong pepper. And they're like, oh, how come it's mustard? And I had no clue for the longest time what they were talking about. They showed the wrong pepper.
Oh my gosh! So they're talking about your prima Italian. They're talking about your Piranha, and they showed the completely wrong pepper itself.
Yeah, and it actually made it on the TV show. And see, oddly enough, I didn't watch the show until 1 week after it was released.
Yeah.
That's how busy I was. Mm-hmm. So I was like, why am I going to watch my own show? I was there watching it when it was being filmed.
Yeah.
But to watch how it was pieced together. And oddly enough, I haven't watched the show for every single second of it. You know, because usually I watch it and I get a phone call or whatever. One of these days, maybe Sunday, I'll sit down and lay down or whatever and watch the whole show. I mean, I've watched the gist of it, but I always get phone calls and messages and I have to stop, pause, drop and roll.
Yeah, you do get a lot of constant distractions. I mean, but you're just one guy doing all of it, so it's hard.
Yeah, as I talk to you, I've had 16 people contact me. This guy keeps... I love go-to answers.
What do you mean?
You know, like for a text. This was a text message for local. A guy, a friend of mine, went to. I didn't go to college with him, but I supported another college, and I kept in contact with him. Him and his wife bought seeds for me here in Pittsburgh, and stuff. And it's just like go-to answers because. You can get, you can just click on it, cool, okay, super duper, you know what I mean? And you can type in your own and preset it. for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can preset it and forget it.
I wouldn't forget it.
Oh, well, don't forget it. But that's what Ron Popeil used to say, set it and forget it. So what do you, earlier you said something in like the first hour, you said that you don't really recommend planting seeds in solo cups. I know solo cups are a really popular thing for people to use. You said you use those those tiny cups.
Oh yeah,
what's
red solo cups are fine because, but to actually germinate,
Yeah.
you get a faster germinate. I see people say, based on customer service, actually helps me to create content because it's a mirror reflection. People, okay, so who's this? Yeah, it's somebody else. It's probably you. No.
Okay. It ain't me. It ain't me.
Wow, there's a lot of messages on there.
Yeah.
I've gone to some of them. But anyway, and the teeth hurt today.
Oh.
Lay off the coffee, kid.
Lay off the coffee.
But what was the question?
I don't remember. Jim, I'm going to let you go. Everybody, thank you for hanging out and tuning in on this live stream. This has been Donnie the Chili Mancer with Jimmy Pickles. Jim, you got anything to say before we go?
Toots.
Toots McGoots. I'll see you guys later.